Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. Senator Tuberville, welcome back, sir. I don't know if I want to make Gen Zers great again or not. I got to think about that one, sir. We'll think about that together. I do want to ask you, though, some pretty strong regulatory executive orders yesterday. One that really interests me. I mean, there's one that says no new regulatory orders. I love that. But this business about Schedule F, anybody who's engaged in policy, I don't know exactly how many of them there are, but, I mean, some estimates run as 10,000. Some estimates go as high as 50,000. What the order says is that a president has the right to fire them if he or she doesn't like the way they're behaving. This is a long-time Trump goal. What do you think of it, Senator?
Well, it doesn't make any difference what they think. President Trump's got an agenda, Larry. He's going to take it forward. You know, he's been sitting around for 4 years waiting and thinking about all this, looking at it. He's had people investigating all these things. Yeah, when he makes a decision, it's going to happen. Now, there's going to be lawsuits going everywhere. There's lawyers just smiling from ear to ear. But guess what? We got a new sheriff in town. He has been serious about this all along. He's going to take control of this. He's going to put people back to work. He's going to make sure everybody goes by the right regulations. And Larry, it's a different world up here. Just one day I'm walking around here in the Capitol, and you know the media, the mainstream media, has gone absolutely berserk.
They've probably gone berserk. I just think Trump is so optimistic. His inauguration speech, it was businesslike, but it was very optimistic, talked a lot about success, talked a lot about unity, and I think people want this. I mean, there's a reason he's so darn popular right now. People want it. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, Independent, black, white, whatever. I think people want optimism, and they want to see somebody who can solve all the problems that Joe Biden's dark period brought.
Yeah, and they want to hear their leaders talk, Larry. Joe Biden never gave a press conference, maybe one or two in a year's time. President Trump gives press conferences. He speaks to the American people. He has a game plan. He understands what's going on, what's good, what's bad. Is he going to be able to fix everything? Sure, he's not going to be able to fix it all, but he's going to try to get it in the right direction. We are in a tailspin right now, and he understands that in every area, the economics, foreign relations, the border, crime, you name it, it is out of control. And he's got a plan for it because he's been thinking about it for 4 years.
Last one, Senator Tuberville. Big story, big headline in today's Wall Street Journal that, believe it or not, Hamas has effectively retaken control of Gaza, and part of this is a function of this new ceasefire. Now, I can't believe President Trump will permit this, but that's what the Biden ceasefire had. What do you make of that, sir?
Well, what I make of it is the Philadelphia corridor between Egypt and Gaza. That's where they re-up all of their recruits. They bring people underneath the fence through the corridor there. And when they had a ceasefire, even Netanyahu said this, you know, when we do this, they're going to re-infiltrate Gaza. They're going to restock. They're going to have everything that they need to fight back. And all it's just slowing the war down right now at a period of time. It's coming back. I just hope we can get this done. But again, if we could continue to let them reload every time there's a ceasefire, you're not ever going to have a solution to this.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Running a little short today. Senator Tuberville, thank you, sir.